So, about a year ago, so at the time, you know, my child's father and I, we got into it and all that stuff, as most couples do. But in this case, I was just like, kind of fed up because he's never told actually his family about our daughter. And so I was, yeah. And so I was in a bit of a dilemma where I wasn't like talking bad about him or anything like that. I
Mm.
reached out to his mom, like, hey, you have a beautiful grandchild. I'd love for you to be involved in your grandbaby's life. After that happened, he completely discarded
How
my daughter and I.
how old is your daughter?
She's 4 now.
Okay. He's never told the mom about it?
Nope,
Okay.
never. So, and he discarded, after that happened, he discarded my daughter and I completely, like completely went no contact. And he is he's wealthy. So he used that as a kind of like a clutch of like, I'm withdrawing everything since you wanted. Basically he used to always say like, you're biting off the hands that feed you. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that sense, it was kind of like, well, how do I deal with somebody? Now he's like, oh, well, I want you to go to courts. I want to establish paternity, when that wasn't ever the case. My daughter was 3 at the time. So to want to establish a paternity, it should have happened when she was born. So like now I'm kind of in this dilemma where it's a year later and I established, I did everything through the courts as he asked, but he never sent in the paperwork.
Mm.
So now his thing is, oh, I never received the paperwork. So I don't know what to do at this point, because it's like, how does somebody deal with that, especially if, I'm trying to do what's right for my daughter, but at the same time, it's,
Mm.
do I involve him? Do I not involve him?
You,
Do I just move on and block and go forward? Like,
you ever seen the movie Pineapple Express?
yeah.
Yeah, you've been served. You got to serve him, right? It's just like in these situations right
Yeah.
here, you have to serve him some papers, like where he can't just like, I didn't get them. It doesn't matter if you sign it or anything like that. He's playing stupid. This is willful ignorance right here. And I'm just curious as to why he decided not tell his mom about that, because there's people I know that when they are hiding kids, they have other kids or they have families or they're already married or something like that.
Oh, they do. So when I was 9 months pregnant, which I didn't know it I'm sorry, 9 months pregnant. My daughter was 9 months old. I found out that he got engaged while I was pregnant, although he proposed to me. So
Oh,
that I know.
what?
I know. And so I didn't find out till my daughter was 9 months old. So I packed all of my crap up and I moved 1,000 miles away. But in that time, obviously, this is my first child. So you have moments where you want to share, you want that parent to be involved regardless. And again, I'm an empath, but I have anxious like attachment styles. So when that happens and I'm dealing with somebody like that, it's like, oh, I want you to see her walk. I want you to be able to experience, firsthand like how I am, even though he tells me all the time this isn't my first rodeo. Like he's got 2 other baby mamas, but I thought that he was done with both of them. He got engaged to one of them, and I didn't know that until after the fact.
Oh,
So
so you
it's a
never met
lot
you
to
never met his
unpack,
other
but
kids?
no, of course I have. And that's what's so crazy about it is that he's got a son that I used to always be around. My daughter has pictures with him and everything. But his daughter, like, he's never brought her around. But I kind of thought it was weird.
Mm.
And I questioned him. He actually lied about his kid and didn't tell me until like 8 or 9 months in of dating, that he had a child, even though, women
I'm
have
listening.
this intuition. I had a
Yeah,
dream. You're fine. You
got a
have a
cramp.
cramp.
Yeah, the cramp.
Oh, shit. That's
I
the
can still,
worst.
no, I can still hear you. It's formed up. Okay, okay, okay. So the daughter is that the daughter
Yes.
that you did meet, is that the one by the one he got engaged to?
Yes.
Okay.
And when I discussed, so I reached out to her because again, I'm not trying to cause drama. I just want his family to be involved into her life, even though he's choosing to not do that. So maybe I am kind of forcing it. But I reached out to her, and she's like, "You need to call me right away," and like was like, "Oh, we've been engaged. We have businesses together." And I was like, "I didn't know any of this. I knew none of it." So I was like, kind of just like dumbfounded about it all. But she was even her. which again, you have an enabling person. She's enabling him because she's like, I'd rather dance with the devil to make sure my daughter has everything than to not deal with it. So he's got an enabler enabling him to do all of this stuff. So it's a lot. I don't know if I want to get the courts involved, because again, that entitles him to be part of her life when he's doing that without the courts. He doesn't want to be part of her life. So I'm kind of in like a dilemma. I don't know how to deal with this situation.
I would go ahead and go through the court, because like in this situation right here, especially, there's people who are going they'll tell you to walk away. Just raise the kid by yourself, and I get that, but you said you already tried to. You have to serve him papers or whatever, do the child support thing.
I did.
Y'all don't live in the same. Y'all don't live in the same state, do you?
No.
So so could he try to just become a parent halfway through? Possibly, but typically because he hasn't been involved at all, typically he's not gonna try to do that, right? That's not something he's gonna be interested in.
Right. And I told him all the time, I'm like, you don't have to deal with me. Because I think, again, and again, this is how I know, like, he's narcissistic, because there's been times where he points out to what I say regarding his character as opposed to what he's doing in the action. So here recently, we just had an argument where he's like, he's comparing me to the other mothers and how I've been more difficult than they have been. And I'm like, how? You used to tell me that this one did this or this one did that. And he's now giving me all this list of how I basically pointed to his character, but it was not trying to point to his character. It was more like, hey, this is what's needed for you to be a better person. I'm not like saying you have to change your whole world. I'm saying like you're doing things that are hurtful, and this is the rebuttal to that. So yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So y'all are still in contact now?
So the thing is, again, I send him pictures and updates because, again, I want him to be involved, even though my whole family is always like, cut him off, don't send him nothing else. I'm still sending pictures of our daughter. I'm still sending updates of our daughter.
I would stop doing it, but I get that. Yeah. I get, because if he's not requesting updates, I would stop doing that. It's just like you're the only one putting work in, right? I would stop doing that. But I was definitely, if this like, you don't have to take my advice, but I would 100% put it on a child support. Like it just like he gets free reign. Hell no. Because like it's kind of counterintuitive. You say you're gonna keep sending pictures and want him to be involved, but then you say I don't. If I just cut him all the way off, he's not involved at all. You know what I'm saying? You can't force him to care necessarily, but you can. Like, it's just like he's trying to get off scot-free, and I think he's worried about money and his image and stuff like that, which is why he tried to hide the baby. Because like when he said that, I was just like, yeah,
of course,
he got somebody else. He got somebody else. But will he try to parent, or you see what I'm saying? Will he try to parent and be more involved? That's still doubtful. Sometimes they just pay the money and just still stay gone, and whatnot. So I would definitely try to serve him. But like again, but you have to protect your peace regardless what comes next, whatever going to happen. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Lee.
Right. No problem. Thanks for hopping on and sharing. Be safe. Take care of yourself, bro.
Thanks so much. Thank you. You too.
As when necessary. Can you hear me?
Hello. Good morning or afternoon. It's 12:45. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. What's going on?
Hi, Lee. So I actually found you at a very perfect time. I was in a relationship with a covert, and they're the perpetual victim. They're the woe is me. And I didn't see it at first. I didn't see it. And towards the end of the relationship, I could tell the devaluation and the discard was happening. By this time, I started finding your content. And I'm like, oh, this sounds very familiar, and I started researching. But he just started doing things at the end that left, right, and center would end relationships. And of course, me over here like, oh, he's just, misunderstood and troubled and, all these different things. And at the end, I'm like, hey, I found you somewhere, your location where you wasn't supposed to be, and you lied about it. What is going on? Like, what did I do to give you the impression that you could just disrespect me like this? Like, what shifted in the relationship? And he admitted, he said, I think that I feel like you're too good for me. Again, that covert stuff, I feel like you're too good for me. I'm not good enough for you, or, you deserve better, all this other stuff. And I just didn't want to be the bad guy to end the relationship. So saying all that to just give, context, but the no contact part, once he said that, I was like, okay, say less. We broke up, and the no contact happened, but he would actually be the one to provoke me to break no contact. Again, the covert. Around his birthday, my birthday, holidays, he would do things like watch my stories. Only around, like literally on his birthday or day before or something like that, I guess, to try to put it back in my mind, hey, it's his birthday or something. Or like my birthday, he'll watch my stories or something like that. Or he'll send a message and be like, happy birthday. So now he's broken no contact. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And the moment that I respond and be like, oh, happy birthday to you, or thank you for the birthday wishes, now the smear campaign. Now he's out telling mutual friends, is getting back to me that I'm stalking him. I can't accept that it's over. You know what I mean? Like I just won't get out his DMs. And it's like, bro, you hit me up and said Merry Christmas. I said Merry Christmas back. And now you over here telling our friend group that I just can't accept that it's over. So yeah, that was it. I know you gotta move quickly, but
that's it's not funny, but it kind of is, because like you see how he
oh,
set
it
you
is.
up.
It was years ago. I'm definitely
Yeah.
healed now, but yeah, it was like I said. I found you maybe in 2022, and this relationship ended in February of 2022.
Okay.
So it really helped. You really helped me understand that it's not me. I'm not the problem, because that's how they make you feel. So I kept like trying at first and trying to make things work until finally he's like, I just didn't want to be the bad guy and end it. And then I go no contact, 3, 4, 5 months go by, and all of a sudden you watching my stories, or you telling me that you like whatever I posted, and I say something like thank you, and now you're telling all our friends I can't let go. So it took a cycle of that for about a year, maybe a year and a half of him doing that to me. And then I finally was like, you know what? No, you're blocked on everything. So he has no way to contact me now.
Okay, well, good for you. I was gonna say,
Thank you.
Because like when you say he's watching the stories, that the quickest way to stop him from doing that is to just hit that block button. But I'm glad you were able to get to that point. I know people try to frame it like blocking someone is an easy thing to do. Yeah, it's easy.
It was not.
It's an easy thing to do with your hands, but with your mind and your heart, those things are more difficult, right? Because it's the closing of a long chapter, right?
Yes.
It's the emotions. It's the end. It's finality right there, and sometimes they can be very difficult. But you see how he was plotting and playing and trying to get you to break no contact and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then he would use that against you.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's kind of funny, but like he's just like, y'all see, she in my inbox again. Damn, what's
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Yes.
Were people believing that? I'm just curious.
The people who were coming back, talking to me about it, I don't know if they were believing it. They were just kind of like mentioning it, like, oh, I don't want to say his name. I almost did. But they're like, oh, so-and-so, what's going on with y'all? He said that you this, that, and the third. And I'm like, baby, what? You know what I mean? And now I got to clear it up. And it just got to the point where I kept feeling like I'm defending myself and me being over the relationship or trying to heal and move on. And that too, every time somebody comes back around and mentions it to you, it takes you back to the sunken place. It takes you back to do you know what I'm saying? So I had to completely, like I said, I got to a point where I got to block him, because now you're using other people is what it felt like. They're coming back because you're talking to these people. Kind of one of your previous guests said, he's touching base with other people to get back to me. Maybe he wants me to cuss him out. I don't know what he's looking for, but I would never feed into it. But again, 6 months will go by, and next thing you know, it's New Year's, and he's Happy New Year's. And I say, Happy New Year to you too. And he'll be like, oh, what did you do for your New Year's? And I'll say XYZ, and I'll say, what did you do? He'll say 1, 2, 3. Next thing you know, that conversation is circulating in our mutual friend circle that I'm not over the relationship.
Oh, Lord. Yeah,
so,
that's crazy.
But I want to say thank you, Lee. I truly appreciate you. I know you don't cover Covert a lot, but everything you do say about it, I consume it. And if you decide to touch on Covert a little more, I think a lot of us do deal with that. Not all of them are as overt. It's harder to catch them.
Yeah, I don't know if you see my YouTube channel, but I got a lot of videos specifically about covert narcissism on my YouTube channel.
Okay, I'm mainly on your Instagram. I'm mainly Instagram, so let me get your YouTube.
Yeah, the Instagram.
I'll hop on
like
there.
Short blur. The Instagram and the TikTok stuff is short blurbs. YouTube is deep dives. I think I literally just did one very recently about covert narcissistic people. It might have been the title of it might have been the difference between overt and covert narcissist. I just like my YouTube channel.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So my YouTube
well, thank
channel.
you so much.
It's the same name over there as over here. It's mental Healness. But I'm pretty sure I just did one over there. When you said that, I was like, wait, you must not have seen my YouTube.
No, I'm not on your YouTube, but I definitely will be following right now as soon as we get done. Thank you so much.
All right, perfect. Thanks for hopping on.
All right.
Safe.
You too. Bye-bye.
So to answer your question, why did I break no contact? So I've had a lot of experiences with narcissists, family, dating, but I think the hardest one to break was my most recent relationship. We went back and forth for about 3 years, and I kept going back because I wanted him to validate that the relationship was real. And to be honest, I realized I didn't care in the end because I think that ultimately, whatever it was that I needed him to validate within me in terms of my self worth, I could do it myself. And that actually helped me to go no contact with my mom, and I'm keeping it. So.
So going no contact with your partner helps you go no contact with your mom? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
But it can be amazing sometimes because a lot of times there are so many people that get raised in toxic relationship dynamics that don't realize it until they're in their own personal toxic relationship, right? It wakes you up to the things that you might have been experiencing in your childhood raising up. Because like you just said, when you are breaking no contact with your partner, you're trying to get them to validate you. And you're just like, why do I need validation from this person so bad? And then you kind of start digging deeper into your past. You're like, oh, damn, I got a toxic parent. Let me talk to them about this. And then the toxic parent typically is not going to validate you either. So sometimes, yeah, it could be good to go no contact, but sometimes it really just depends on everybody's situation, right? With the parent, especially with the parent, it can be very, very uniquely difficult to go no contact or whatnot.
Yes, because you have so many connecting relationships. Because it's not just that parent. Sometimes you have to go no contact with your siblings or even your other parent. Like my dad and I are actually struggling through that right now because his whole thing is like, well, that's your mom. And my grandmother passed last year. So he's still grieving that. And so I think he's kind of connecting those dots. And I'm like, but you're divorced from my mom too. Like, she's insane. Like, why? Like, you don't know. But I think there's a little bit of guilt there and probably some unaddressed wounds for him as well. So, but ultimately, I'm like, that's your issue, though. I can't do anything about it. I had to get real, like, just hardlined with it. I'm not going to lie. And not be afraid to be a butthole if I need to, because ultimately, it's my mental health that's struggling, right? Like, it's my sanity that's on the line here, dealing with somebody who's constantly gaslighting, constantly diminishing, and all the things. And I just had to get real accountable about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. So
yeah, but shout out to you because I know that's tough right there to do. And yeah, your dad right there because he, like you said, he just lost his mom, so he's probably there's some grieving going on there as well, where he just doesn't know how to handle it, and he's not necessarily lashing out at you, but he's just like trying to make it seem like everything can be repaired or everything can be fixed or whatever. Don't wait too late and things like that, which is understandable. And like I like how you added the point in about going no contact with a parent or a family member. It's not just them sometimes. Sometimes it's a effect. You got to go no contact with more people, right? You have to go no contact with, like say, it starts to spread out, right? The no contact, it's kind of like a no contact bug. It starts to spread. There's no contact virus. It starts to spread and hit other people too because they are connected to the person you were no contact with, and or they're becoming flying monkeys and supporting them. So you have to cut them off too, or they're just not trying to hear you're part of it and whatnot. And sometimes they'll go no contact. They'll go no contact with you because you were no contact, right? So it's kind of rough sometimes like that, but
Oli, you have no idea. And you know what sparked a lot of this? I got in a car accident in January. And it was a bad one. It was like a 4-car pileup. I was fine. But I remember like I called my dad, I called my mom, just kind of told them what happened. And my mom almost immediately goes into this whole like, well, this is your 3rd car accident in X amount of. I'm like, yeah, like from 8 years ago. She's just like, well, don't you think something's following you? And I said, no. And so the minute I agreed to that, or didn't agree to that, sorry, she just like completely cut me off. Like she was so mad that I would not agree with her. And I thought about it and I said, this is my chance to go no contact. I've been talking about this in therapy and this is actually a good time. So I just didn't reach out to her again after that. I was like, what's the point? And she launched a whole smear campaign against me. Like literally, I want to say about maybe 4 or 5 months later, I found out about it because I had moved and my dad came to see me. And he's just like, well, I've been talking to your mom. Well, you've been talking to my mom. Like, and come to find out, she's talked to all these family members and they're all just kind of like looking at me like I'm the problem. And I had no idea that had developed over a 4 or 5 month period because I had so many things change in my life that I was focused on that and not on her.
Yeah. So you went no contact. So you went no contact with your mom, and then she started a smear campaign.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I had
happens right
no.
there too. That happens so much to people because when you go no contact, the smear campaign can be a way to try to get you to break the no contact, right? Because if you want me to stop talking about you, who do you need to reach out to? Me.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So sometimes that could be a tactic to get you to reach out to them or to get you to contact them. So you have to be very, very careful in that situation as well. So, that's I know it's tough to deal with, but like thank you for hopping on and sharing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing. Like I said, shoot me a message if you have any other questions, anything else that pops up. And thank you for joining.
Yes, will do. Thank you.
All right, be safe.
Thank you.
Boo, boo.
Oh, sorry.
Y'all.
Okay, I'm here. I'm sorry. I had notes, so I was trying to refer back to them so I didn't lose track. So no contact because we have a child, right? And going no contact sometimes can cause the other person anguish, right? You're personally like, okay, well, it takes a lot of energy for me to not contact you, or me given to you contacting me. So dang, I wish I could look at my notes and talk, but it's not letting me do that. Okay. So basically I would say it's a lot of energy to go no contact with someone has narcissistic traits. They're very persuasive, and calling and saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill myself,"
Oh,
or
Lord.
yeah, that kind of stuff. Like, you're not in my life, so I don't have anybody. You're all I have. And kind of putting the guilt back on me. And then, oh, we have a child together. You can't do that to me. Those types of things become, overwhelming to someone. And I think that was why I did it. I went back and I did it for a while, like 6 years, back and forth, back and forth. So you get to a point where it's like, okay, now it's survival mode. Now it's either me or you. And then you have to decide, like, okay, well, I want to have happiness. Maybe it's going to be hard because I'm going to be a single parent now. It's going to be sad because now my son isn't going to have a traditional relationship with his father. But you have to weigh out the options here. Is that person what kind of value is that person going to add to your child's life, into your life? And if you decide that it's not worth it, then that's where you get your power. You're like, okay, well, it's either this or this. Choosing up is going to be key. And yes, I'm upset. I'm angry sometimes. Like, okay, well, I have all the burden of raising our child by myself. But what else would you be? Alternatively, what would you be compromising with? At what expense are you going to have this individual in your life? And I'd rather not, right now we have a restraining order. So it's been a year now, no contact. And I still communicate with his family because that's my son's family. I'm not going to punish my son because I don't want to talk to his dad or we don't have a relationship. So I just really, I didn't, and then also I didn't know anything about narcissists or anything like that until like my algorithm, like the stuff I was crying about, I'm complaining about, I'm looking at why is he like this? I've never met anybody like this before. And it was strange to me, like an alien. And I started to learn. And then I came across you because I've been following you for a while, some years now. And I was like, damn, he's admitting to being a narcissist. That's crazy. Like most people would not want to admit that shit. And so I was like, damn, he's super transparent with it. He's accepting of it and mindful. I can learn something here. And literally, it's very difficult. It can be tragic for a lot of women if they're not knowledgeable about it. Do your research and just stay ahead of it. And I would just say, literally, do you and take care of yourself and your own mental health. And if you have to go no contact, do it because it could save your life.
Yeah, no,
Literally.
absolutely. It could absolutely save your life in these situations and stuff like that right now. But also, I want to kind of, when you said you would break no contact when he would threaten to self harm,
Yes.
that right there is big because a lot of people go through that, right? A lot of people have this happening and whatnot. When you just like you break up with them or you stop talking to them, there's like, well, I'm just gonna take myself. I'm gonna hang myself. I'm gonna shoot myself.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When that happens, this is going forward. If it happens in the future, not just with you, with other people that are listening to this, it's just like think about this right here. Most people are not going to do that in that situation, right? But let's just say
Right.
on the off chance that they will harm themselves. Do you think they'll leave you here by yourself, right? Most times when they want to self harm, you don't hear about the person family annihilators exist, right? They annihilate the family. They don't just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this to myself. No, they come over there, they hit you, they hit the kids, and then they take themselves out. So if they're threatening self harm, of course, I would say this to everybody: call the unaliving hotline on their asses. Do a wellness check because that'll shake them out of it, right? Because they won't do it again. When the police come over there and put them on a hold or something like that, they won't do it again, right? They're like, oh hell no, I ain't threatening that again. I'll go to jail, right? But you have to be very careful in those situations like that. And I'm also glad you brought up the point that like even when you have to co-parent with them, it's very difficult because you see who they are, right? It's absolute. You like I said, you might not have the traditional family dynamic, but did you have that when they were in the household anyway? When y'all were together, were y'all a traditional family in anything but name and appearance? You say it's just like, oh, they're together, they have a family, they have a child together. But is what goes on behind closed doors? Because looks can be very, very deceiving, you know.
Very.
And that can happen a lot. You know, I just like feel like good on you of getting out of there and getting a restraining order. But yeah, like you just said, sometimes going no contact it's very difficult when you have a child, unless you have a third party or a mediator or something like that to handle all of that. But I say instead of trying to go to completely no contact with a child, sometimes you have to do on contact, right? It's the flip. It's only necessary contact. It's, you know, sometimes when they're threatening self-harm or they're sending these long messages or they're attacking you, what I tell people to do right now is to literally copy. I mean, you can use AI for this, or sometimes you can literally copy and paste their messages or screenshot it, put it in the AI and ask AI, is anything important about my child? Or whatever. Is my child's name mentioned here? And AI was like, no, you don't have to read the message, right? You don't have to read a long disparaging message. And if you don't want to use AI or whatever, because I tell people, get very good at skimming, but also reading the first sentence and the last sentence. Read the first sentence and the last sentence, because that will let you gauge the tone. If the first sentence is "fuck you," we're not reading that whole message. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
When the last sentence is "go to hell," we're not reading that message. What's that right there? You see what I'm saying? Those are things you can take through the AI in situations like that. So that's about self-protection and being able to guard yourself right there. You know. Because as they start threatening that type of stuff, or they're just sending you craziness, you really do have to protect yourself. You know, because otherwise it's just become a detriment to your health and also to it's the safety of everybody else around you. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
It's been a hard thing to deal with. And if he takes the proper avenues, I would be more than happy to let him. I want him. It's not hard. Like, I want him to be a father and stuff like that. But you have to take the proper avenues, you know. And at this point, there's going to be structure, there's going to be boundaries, and definitely a third party. So I'm trying to keep in close contact with his family so that the option is there. Like, if you want to do this, but not through me.
No,
That's the only
absolutely. That's good right there. That's good right there.
Yes.
You say you're setting that type of stuff up to help yourself out right there and protect yourself overall. You know what I mean? But thank you for hopping on and
thank
sharing.
you.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you so much.
No, be safe. Take care of yourself.
You too.
All right. All right.
He was okay for like a week,
Mm-hmm.
acting like he was changed. But after that, he started going back to his normal self. And this isn't the first time I've left him. Like, this is the 7th or 8th time I've left him.
Y'all have kids together, you said?
Yeah, we have 3 kids. And
So did you go no contact with him anytime and whatnot? Or how did that?
I've tried to, but like when I said I wasn't gonna come back, he was like blowing up my phone, asking about the kids, like being that father. And then when I said I'm coming back, he stopped doing that. He stopped calling me, stopped asking about the kids. And then when I had on my trip back up to North Carolina, because of course I came back, I had a panic attack out of nowhere. Like I could not drive. And I had no idea what that was about. And then now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I think that was like God telling me, like, do not freaking go, because now like things are back to where it was. Like he's back to everything that he did. And a main thing is him wearing headphones and ignoring me and not like listening to me. I'll talk and he's like, oh, what? Because he always has his headphones in. He's always on his phone.
In the house?
Yeah.
But like right now. So this is where everything is at right now? Y'all back together now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're back together now. And now I'm thinking he's actually being more aggressive now that I'm back.
Yeah, because you left, right? Typically now, because they understand that you've left before, they always think that you have one foot out of the door. So now they're going to be more aggressive and resentful because of what happened previously. You know what I mean? And then like when you go no contact with people like this, it also leads to a level of resentment and anger. And then when you come back, yeah, they might be on their best behavior for a little while, but then they just fall back into their true personality. They just fall back into who they actually are. You know, him going the church route is just, I don't think y'all understand how much that boils my soul with the church stuff. I do not think y'all understand that right there, because it's like, because I'm not saying you, right, but it just becomes because it's like church people get so easily manipulated, because like you don't have to see things to believe it. You're supposed to walk by faith, right? You just be like, oh, maybe God did change him. What proof did he, you see what I'm saying? And that's what they use against you. They use the fact that you don't have to see actual evidence to believe something. You're just like, hey, you need to walk by faith, not by sight. You don't need to see my changes. You have to have faith I'm going to change. Which is kind of, you know, that's why you see a lot of evil people start to pretend to be religious, because you don't need to actually see things, right? You just walk by faith, not by sight. And because right now you're back with him, yeah, he's turning it all the way down. He's in the mind of a narcissistic person. When you break no contact and you go back to them, what they start to think is, hey, the work is getting you back. It's not keeping you. You see what I'm saying? Like the work is getting you back here. So now it's like they make it more difficult for you to leave. So sometimes this is what goes on in their heads. Like I got you back. Why do I need to put more work in? Like you're already here. What happened to faith? What happened to believing? Right? Let's go to church today. Whatever. Right? And that's the way they use it to manipulate you and things like that. So you have to be very, very careful in these situations, because like you see now, he's wearing headphones in the house. Like, what is he, dancing and singing? You know, that's just somebody who's trying to block you out. You know, somebody that's trying to punish you and is angry as hell because you left, you know, and typically that's what happens. Like when you leave, they panic, but then you come back, they're angry because you made them panic. Now you have the power to leave. You have the ability to leave, you know, so they think you have one foot out the door. So sometimes, you know, what ends up happening, they'll try to put another baby in you. They'll try to do something to keep you from leaving. They'll take your car. They'll do something. They'll try to make things more difficult the next time.
I mean, now I'm scared to leave, because now he's being like I said, this is the 7th time I've left. Now he knows like it's for real. And so now he's like, when he's arguing with me, he's like slamming his hands on the table and he's like being more aggressive. And I'm like, what? Like I've seen it before and it happened like a few times, but now it's like more often.
Yeah, because it's escalating. Because now that's why you see videos and stuff like that where people say it gets worse when you go back. Because now they're angrier. Now they're resentful. Now all this stuff is coming out at the same time, and like their behaviors amplify, and they start acting and behaving like this, and they start losing their damn minds. Just like you have to be safe. And if you do want to leave again, you have to escape. It's not like leaving. Now it's escaping. And like you see now, if you go back, and typically they say it takes a victim 7 times to leave. So you're right there at 7, right? It takes an average of 7 times to leave. So it's like now you left the 7 times. So if you leave 8, you go back, you might not make it out the next time, right? Because you see his behaviors are escalating and whatnot. He's like now he's slamming his hand on or slamming his fist down, listening to music, he's blocking you out. Like that's the type of stuff that those are the type of behaviors that start to escalate and get worse over time and things like that too. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's been hard, and my mental health, like I think I'm in shock, I guess, because I just left so quick to come back. And even though it was like a year, I think I just left like believing like their whole religious part, like he's in church, he was sending me the church messages, and then I went to the church, he's in the back row with his head down. And I'm like, it's because he was like hiding. Like that's the church that he can hide in.
Or he back there burning because he got some devil in him, right? He back there steaming. He back there hot.
Exactly.
He back there smoking. He's sizzling and popping, right? So sometimes it goes all right there.
Yeah. So now I just want to say that I'm aware. Like I'm aware of this. Like I'm stronger mentally, even though he's like affecting my mental. I know exactly what he's doing. I'm more knowledgeable about it, and I am going to, try to get out for me and the kids. Like even though it's hard because it's embarrassing. Like it's embarrassing to keep going back and forth, and I think now I'm just like, no, I can't. I cannot keep doing this.
Because that can help wake you up too. Because like I say, you don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again because there could be a lot of shame associated with it. So sometimes people will stay because they're ashamed of leaving again. Like I've left so many times, people are not going to take me seriously, or this will happen, that will happen, and that type of stuff. So, thank you for hopping on and sharing today. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and it's nice to meet you.
Likewise, just be safe on the way out, okay? Just take care of yourself, take care of the babies.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Damn, Lee. I watch your videos every morning. I go to work, literally. Like you're always on my headphones, I'm telling you.
Yay.
What was
Always happy to help.
What was the question?
So, why did you break no contact with your narcissistic partner, ex, parent, whoever it is?
Oh, yeah. By the way, he stalked me today. Yeah. He was driving by my house. So what happened is, I just liked him. Okay, I really loved him, and I thought he loved me the same way. So I broke no contact. I texted him. I told him like I wanna talk to him, and I really miss him. And by the way, he had a girlfriend at that moment, which was the reason why I broke no contact. So what happened is like, yeah, he came to my job, and I was trying to talk to him, but he was acting really weird. Like he was really mad at me. He brought up things I did. He called me a liar, cheater. Like he wasn't even trying to talk with me, Like I was trying like talk to him, and he wasn't ignoring my attempt. He was just really mad at me. He was screaming at me. Then I realized that there's no way like I can fix something because he was really mad at me. So the main reason why he was mad at me, why he started, by the way, there's a lot of reasons why I break no contact, because he started to talk shit about me to my friends. He was stalking me. He tried to fucking hit me, he did a lot of things. So, but I didn't care, okay, because I loved him.
He tried to hit you, or he did?
Yeah. Yeah, he tried to hit me. He lied to my he lied to my friends. He even had a fight with my boss because he was jealous. He did a lot of things, you know, but I don't know, I still miss him, but I kind of scared of him. Yeah.
Kinda?
Yeah. Yeah. I tried to break no contact 3 times and it failed. He was mad. He couldn't talk to me because he was mad. He was mad because in his head I cheated, and I never cheated, by the way. He just once he saw me with my boss, you know, talking about some, you know, stuff. Like every time he see me with my boss, he gets mad, you know. So he think that I'm cheating with my boss. That was the main reason why he started this shit.
Was he cheating?
Yeah. I don't know. I never found out.
No. Did you ever suspect it? I'm just curious because a lot of times when they start these accusations about cheating out of nowhere, it's typically a form of projection when they're actually doing something behind the scenes, and that internal their conscience is bubbling up to the surface, and they're just like, you must be cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be. Or there's a lot of insecurities that rise to the surface as well. Like the person is being insecure and they don't want you to have friends of the opposite sex or of the same sex if that's what you're attracted to, right? So sometimes that's what goes on as well, you know. And then, like you said, you tried to break no contact and he was angry. When you are breaking no contact with somebody like this and they're ignoring you, they don't have to talk to you, right? And that's why that's the point right there. It's just like, if you are reaching out to me, I don't need to talk to you, right? It's when you stop that becomes problematic to me. If I have a toxic personality style, right, you reaching out to me means that I'm okay. But then you stopping means that you might have somebody else, or that there is I'm losing access. So that's why the stalking and stuff could start right there, you know?
But Lee, the thing is like, the main reason why I broke no contact, yeah, I said like he was like lying to my friends, you know, he did a lot of weird things, but he still was talking me. So I thought like maybe you wanna talk to me. I think he's obsessed. And I really felt like he loves me, but the obsession ain't love, right? Dude,
No.
he started even to dress like me. He started to listen to music I listen. Like after I stopped caring, I stopped contacting him. He became even more obsessed, and I swear to God, I'm scared. I even saw his car today.
You said he started to dress like you, like in your clothes?
Yes. Nah, like, you know, wear the same way I style myself, you know? Like, and listen to the music I listen crazy. I swear to God, it's crazy. Like, he talk like me, he acts like me, but I don't get it. Like, he still stalks me.
Yeah, because the obsession, like rejection breeds obsession. Sometimes when you finally reject them or you finally start to step away, they become obsessed with you. It's like a power dynamic, right? Obsession becomes control. Like love is not dangerous. Like obsession becomes dangerous in a lot of these situations. And sometimes you have to force people like this to leave you alone, right? You have to force people like this to get out of your life and whatnot, because like, you know, otherwise, they feel like they just be around. They try to ruin your life. They try to keep you from dating and moving on because you're afraid, right? You're like, if I bring somebody else here, they're going to go crazy on them, or they're going to hurt them, or they're going to hurt me.
Lee, do you think that no contact always works? Because I think in my situation, it became even worse.
No contact is supposed to help you heal, right? It's supposed to help you move forward in these journeys and things like that. No contact is meant to help you break the trauma bond or bond. When you're bonded to a person like this, it's meant to help you disconnect from them. Like, the more you break no contact, like I know some people in your situation, if you're getting stalked, you're like, well, I might as well talk to them, right? Because like this safer. Not necessarily. Like you talking to them kind of feeds that delusion, kind of feeds that obsession. It's kind of like when you feed a cat, now you have a cat, right? You feed a stray cat, now you have a cat. You know, don't feed the storks at the beach. They will hunt you down because that validates them and whatnot when you're talking to them. So like I was saying earlier, sometimes you have to force them to leave you be and whatnot, right?
Because I don't know, when I completely like gone, he even started, he became even more obsessed, and I don't know what I gotta do. Like, by the way, yeah, you said like no contact meant for like healing, but here's the thing: I can't heal if I see him every day.
Yeah, I know.
He
That's what I'm
always,
saying. That's a part of it right there. But if you've seen him every day and then you're still communicating with him or reaching out to him, that's just going to feed that. And like I said, I don't know where you are, what state, country you're in or whatever. Sometimes you have to, document this type of stuff, because you might have to go to, like when I say it, force them to leave you alone. Sometimes you have to go get restraining orders and, arm yourself if you're in a place where you're able to arm yourself, or concealed carry or something like that, because you have some people like this will escalate and their behaviors will get worse. You know what I mean? But I have a few other people I got to hop on, and then like I said, I'm gonna go around again. But thank you for hopping on and joining the live real quick. Okay.
thank you. I love you.
No, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Like emphasis on to take care of yourself.